I don't care what kind of shape you're in. I'm gonna knock your teeth back out the other side of your head. You understand that?
Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Poppers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smooth. What is up, guys? What is cracking? It's the Con-Man, and I am in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we're here to give you that work. When it comes to this professional wrestling business, and guys, it is Thursday, which means it is time to have a Dynamite discussion, and that is exactly what we're here to do because it's the AEW Dynamite review show. That's right, it's Dynamite. Yeah, and joining me like they do every single week is my man over here. He produces all of our shows here at In Your House. On Wednesday, he's the educator of Extreme, but every day he's the voice, Josh Joseph. What is up, brother man?
How goes it, House? How are you doing, household? OG Tony, I hope you brought some fans. I know you did because people follow you, my friend. Real quick, we just celebrated 7 years of In Your House.
We did,
fantastic stuff. And House, I want to say to you, I appreciate you so much because I just was watching the intro, and in the Sabu interview, you put in the clip of me making him laugh his ass off to where he was coughing. And oh my God, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate In Your House, and we appreciate all of you that are going to be in the chats here shortly, just talking us up. I can't wait.
Yes, man, it's going to be a great time. I love our Thursday show that we do now. Yes, I'm glad you caught that on the intro. That was most definitely calculated. But, man, joining us as well is a man who, of course, does great work in the wrestling media realm, sports media as well. Many shows, one of the hardest working men in podcasting, in wrestling media. That's the OG himself. Tony Gonzalez from Gonzo Sports Room, Gonzo Wrestling Room. What is up, brother man?
Not a whole lot, man. Just checking out a lot of wrestling. It was pretty good wrestling last night. Looking forward to checking out TNA later tonight, and just having a good time, man. Just sitting back, trying to stay warm.
Yeah, man. I know that's right, man. I know that's
difficult.
right. Oh, it is right now. I know next week we got some better weather coming. We got some 40 and 50-degree weather coming, so definitely excited about that. Oh, yeah, most definitely. But speaking of Yowie Wowie and speaking of things trending north, as in hot, we had a hot episode of AEW Dynamite last night, and a lot of different things moving. And the reason I say that it was hot is because the structure of the show for me, and I was thinking about it. Me and Voice were talking about it before it went on the air, and it felt like there was less wrestling on the show and more segments, more talking, more storyline movements and whatnot, which I don't hate that from AEW. It's a rare change of pace for them, and I think that that's a good thing. Also, they had some pretty decent matches, too, with Andrade going up against Kenny Omega, and I got to tell you, I enjoyed that match quite a bit, and I enjoyed the match even more because of the finish. The finish really stood out to me, and the reason why the finish stood out to me is because when I watch a match, just like I watched with Kenny Omega versus Andrade, and I see Andrade hit his finishing move, the DM is what he calls it. And if that would have happened In WWE, once he hits that move, I'm like, okay, you have the, he got screwed over, and then here comes the finish. Boom, 1, 2, 3 in WWE. That's it. In AEW, there would have been a couple of more false finishes before we got to a roll up that ended up losing somebody the match. We actually had a finisher finish, most definitely, a match in AEW where I felt like the time was right to finish the match. So that was a plus. I enjoyed that, but I don't want to make it all about what I enjoyed because I got to ask my guys over here. I'm going to start with the OG himself. Go ahead and give me some of your highlights or a big highlight, something that you enjoyed, and also something that you didn't enjoy. We could do love and loathes. Give me
Okay.
a love and a loathe from this episode of Dynamite.
I really like what they're doing with Andrade. He feels, for the first time in a while, he feels kind of important.
Whoa,
He
whoa,
feels like
whoa! I got to jump in there for that because I remember you saying just a few weeks ago that you didn't really care about what he was
Yep.
doing, you didn't like the
Yep.
direction of it, and now here it is now, and they've changed your mind. So that really
Yes.
just stuck out to me. I'm sorry, continue.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I like the thing with the ladies. I just like everything they're doing. Uh, he's kind of a, I don't want to say a chicken shit heel, but he's winning by using the low blow, that type of
Yeah.
stuff. But hey,
Yep.
that's fine. There ain't nothing wrong with that. But I mean, he's getting put over. He's beating some good guys, some of the top card guys. It's been a while since he's beat top card guys anywhere, whether it was in AEW before or WWE. So I like what they're doing with him. I thought that was a good victory over Omega. Uh, and the other thing, real quick, that I also liked, I did like the Brody King thing. Uh, I did like that. I thought that was pretty interesting. It's they're pushing him. The only now my low guys, I'm not a big fan of these matches. This set up to get an opportunity to get a title shot,
Yeah.
and my
The
reason.
Eliminator.
And that's okay to do it some, but they've been doing it an awful lot lately. I think we
Mm-hmm.
had a couple last week. We had two this week, and
Yep.
we had two, and two of them both won. So now they're getting a match next Saturday in Australia, which is fine. But I think they got to be careful in then doing that because I know what's. I mean, in my opinion, the tag team titles, maybe they lose the titles in Australia. I don't think MJF is losing. Now they could shock me, but then you
Yeah.
just made it basically a 50-50 booking. So he won one. Now he's won one, and are they going to continue from there, or are they just going to forget about it? That's my only thing. Sometimes I think it's better to build if you build, say, if Brody would have won 5-6 matches in a row and beat some good guys. I just think that might have been better. But I'm not putting him down. I love Brody getting what he's getting. And I did that. For me, the show did start off a little slow again the first couple
Hmm.
matches, but
Yeah.
once they got to Hangman, I thought it really picked up the whole show after that. So I enjoyed the show. I give it last week. I think I get a 7.5. I give it
Yeah.
8. I give it an 8, maybe 8.5 this week. So I like this one better.
That's a
The
good score.
one other thing, real quick, is I know you guys said they had more talking, and I agree. I thought they did. But to me, I think they need to give just a little bit more time because a lot of the segments are really quick.
Yeah.
And sometimes it seems like they're trying to put 10 pounds of stuff in a 5 pound bag. So
I
they
get
got
you.
to make it
I
where
get you.
they need to get it where maybe it breathes a little bit more. But I think they're going in the right direction, guys. And that card I normally don't watch Collision on Saturdays, but that card, the 14th, which is not going to be necessarily a Collision, it's going to be the
Grand
Australian show,
Slam.
which I forget what's called right now, but and it
Grand
will be
Slam.
tape Grand Slam. It will be a tape show because of the time difference. But it's really looked like a pretty good card, and they built it pretty well.
Yeah, I think Grand Slam looks real good. That I think they're doing a good job. I do. I gotta say, I do think they're doing a good job. I agree with what you're saying about like maybe let more things breathe. I think they're moving closer towards like, okay, they're trying to figure it out because you can tell they're trying to focus on some storylines, but they don't know how to do it as eloquently as the WWE does because the WWE's been focusing on storylines for years on years on years on years on years, as to where AEW started focusing storylines on like for like what like the less maybe like 12 or 13 months.
If that.
So like they're trying to figure out how to tell stories as opposed to somebody at WWE who's been doing it as a master class for many years. So I'm gonna throw it over here to my man Voice. There's actually a lot of things that came out from this Dynamite, like that to discuss and have a conversation about, and we will. We're definitely gonna break it down as the show goes on. But I gotta get Voice's thoughts here. I need a love and I need a loathe from this episode of Dynamite.
There was quite a few things that I actually loved about this Dynamite.
Okay.
The professional opinion. I loved the exactly where Tony was, where he said a few weeks ago that he wasn't thrilled with Andrade and the
Mm-hmm.
direction he's going, and it changed. I said weeks ago that I think they need to do more with Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm. I like
You
that
did.
combination,
You
and
said that. I
they
think you said that on our Dirt Sheet Radio
I
crossover show.
did. I did because we had an actual discussion about it, and I believe it was Malik was discussing it, and he was like saying like, that if you're gonna tiptoe around it's like kind of let's just stop it because they
Yeah.
did kind of put a pause on it. It wasn't as prevalent as it was through the weeks leading up, but
Hmm.
they did do a pretty cool spot or match. Last night, which I enjoyed. I like when they do think it's almost like they listen to the fans sometimes. And when they do that, you get great things. You get Andrade's match.
Yep.
I mean, to me, that was a classic wrestling match. Andrade brought Kenny into his own world, and me and Kevin just had a discussion about how he thinks Kenny Omega matches are that the false finishes, way too many false finishes. So it just
Yep.
lags on and lags on. But if
Yep.
you watch that match, it didn't do that. It actually proved that Kenny Omega can do a non flippy do match and it be incredible. Like
And
it
slow
wasn't
down a little bit.
exactly. Andrade slowed Kenny Omega down to where Kenny was a digestible for the audience. And lastly, I will say with what I enjoyed, um, to me that was the best match that those two guys have had since coming back to AEW. That was their best moment they've had since being back at AEW, and I think you have to ride that wave with it. Now, what I didn't like, what I'm about to say has nothing to do with all the stuff that was happening around it, but the main event. Listen, I get Brody is way bigger and could just destroy MJF in an actual just let's have a fight. I get that, but MJF is your champion. You made him look extremely weak with that, and if that's your goal, to where you want MJF to look weak going into February 14th at Grand Slam, fine, great. That's hopefully you got a story behind it, but you could have went longer with that segment. You could have done more in that match. You could have gave MJF a tiny bit of offense. And lastly, if you're going to play into political shit, you might as well jump into it. And the way to extend that segment was to get MJF on the opposing side of Brody and the audience. And I've been saying this for weeks. It's ridiculous that you're going to tiptoe into it. Jump the fuck in if you're going to do it. That's how you make a splash. Not getting your toes wet and then what? What's the protest next month? Is it going to be the same thing? Are we moving on? I don't know. But jump the fuck in. Just do it. Make it
Yeah.
exciting. Make it must-see TV.
Yeah. Yeah. So I want to jump right into that and give some thoughts on that as far as the match goes. So you know me, Voice, and
Yep.
you know I'm somebody that's like, if you can get me off my phone and get me focused on what you're doing, I'm locked in. And
True.
usually 9 out of 10 times, I'm not questioning it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think last night was the rare time where I was like, oh my God, what are they doing? Fuck what's on my phone, fuck who I'm texting, or fuck whatever. Let me see what's going on here. But it wasn't like, oh my God, this is crazy. It's like, why are they doing this? I don't understand why this is happening. And
Yeah.
here's why. A couple of different things that really stood out to me from that match. First, and I've been dying to say this all day. I've been keeping this thought to myself just to come on the show and talk to you fellas about it. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that's not the ice thing. I'm talking about the other elephant in the room with the sleeper Lynch off the apron. We just saw that on Monday. We just saw that from Gunther to Dragon Lee on Monday. And I did my research, okay? I did my research, guys. So, yes, I am like, dang, why is AEW putting that exact same spot in their main event that just happened on Monday? Now, I've been in a lot of locker rooms. I know you guys have too. I know there's a lot of talent that'll walk up to each other and they'll say something like, "Hey, are you going to hit a spear in your match?" "Okay, you're not." "Okay, I was just asking because I'm going to hit a spear in my match. So I got to make sure nobody else is." Because if I'm ending my match with the spear, and that's the 1, 2, 3, and then later on in the night, you do a spear as a transitional move and they kick out at a little after 2, then it looks weak.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
let me break it down a little bit. The Brody King spot that he's been doing since 2002, the sleeper apron lynching spot. I'll say this, and this is not to say one way or the other anybody was more awesome or anybody. I'll say this. The way WWE executed it, I liked it a whole hell of a lot better. Because Dragon Lee was struggling and trying to get out and then eventually he just passed. He's like, it was more sickening. It was more disturbing on the eyes as opposed to, MJF getting put in a sleeper by Brody King and then hanging him off the apron, and then MJF in a comedic cartoon fashion passes out in like 2 seconds. That didn't look deadly to me. That didn't look devastating to me. That didn't look like, hey, I got to cover my daughter's eyes watching this. This is MJF doing a cartoony pass out. You know what I'm saying? So, like, It just didn't hit the same way that it hit for me on Monday. That's one thing. Another thing, and it's not even the fact that the match ended how it ended, because the match, I understand why they're doing. They're trying to fast track Brody King to look like he can take MJF and fight him, when what they should have done is exactly what OG Tony said, was give him viable opponents over the course of the last month and a half and let him build his way up. Because if he did that, we wouldn't even have to do this. There'd be no reason for MJF to have to get killed like this, for him to just chicken shit his way into a victory at Grand Slam, because that's exactly what's going to happen. Now, another thing that goes with what Voice was saying, and I was a little bit surprised by this. And this is the fuck ice thing. I gotta be honest, guys. I feel like there was an opportunity missed, because when that crowd was chanting "fuck ice" in Vegas, this made national news. And what do we see? What's one of the biggest pictures we see from that night when this made national news? MJF, the heel, the biggest dick in all of professional wrestling, looking like a deer in headlights because he didn't know how to handle the crowd saying "fuck ice." When he could have made himself the biggest dick in the world and made national news by siding or saying "fuck the crowd" or doing something by putting his flag in. He didn't have to actually say that he was supporting ICE, but he could have said something off color to make people lead to that's where he's putting his flag in the ground. Instead, we have one of the most talented and devastating tongued heels on the mic, looking like a deer in headlights over something that he could have probably manipulated and twisted it around to where he could have got even more heat. So that's my breakdown of that squash match. had me in so many different mindsets as far as like where this was going, because where I get it, where they was going with it, and I think another reason was they were running out of time, because I don't know if you guys noticed it, but like when this match started, it was already past 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that tied into it, but there was just so many things that just left me like scratching my head on that opportunity. And I didn't hate the moment. I just had many, many questions, and I just think there was some money left on the table.
I agree with that one.
That's
I
just
do
how
too.
yeah, that's just
Yeah.
how I see it. There was just so much different things where I was like, like the sleeper lynching spot. I was just like, you couldn't find another time to do that. Like
Well, why didn't he do
literally.
something different? Like go to the corner and take MJF to the second rope and lynch his ass up there. Then I'm telling my kids to not look. Then that moves making more of an impact, and especially with the phrasing of what we title that. I mean, it's lynching. That's a thing that holds weight in our history.
Yes,
That's
it
a.
does.
I mean, so if you're going to do that in this form at this time, like go big or go home. And what pisses me off is, and I think you'll agree with me, Tony. You could have fast tracked Brody King a year and a half ago, and it would have been bigger and better than what we're getting right now. Right now, it seems like you're using Brody as a pawn in a heated moment in which you know you're going to get eyes because of the subject. And for me, as a Brody King fan, and I know where he stands politically, and I know where he stands with his heart, this sucks because I want the Brody King moment to be something. I don't want it to be based around something that's outside of wrestling. I want it to be based around Brody King going through 10 people to get to MJF. Brody King going through 15, whatever the number is, but I want the dominance to show. I don't want it fast tracked.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm with
what
you.
worries me is that the way they did it, instead of just building him up, the way they were doing, like you said, fast track it. That since he got that win, he's going to lose at Australia, and then we're not going to see him in the main event scene again. That's what my big
And that's
concern
the
is,
issue.
and that worries me for Andrade a little bit too. And the reason I say this is I didn't know this till today. Kenny Omega is going to Japan to be a part of some kind of big gaming tournament, so he's not going to be around for a few weeks.
So then what
Yeah.
was the big build for him to be back? So
Yeah, he's involved in. I think they're saying he's not even going to be around for Revolution. So
shit.
because he's booked in Japan for this big event. So that's what I read today. If it's true, I mean, I'm not saying 100%,
Yeah.
but that's what I did read today. And if that's the case, I mean, hopefully, I mean, I like to see him shock the world and see Andrade get the championship. I don't know if they'll pull the trigger or not, but I guess we'll see.
I mean,
Yeah.
you really could with Andrade and the way they're focusing him right now, and then aligning him with the Callis family. I mean, I agree with you, Tony. What we've seen from Andrade with the women on the sidelines and stuff like that, this is a whole new Andrade, and this is something WWE missed with him. I'll go back to what I said about Andrade when Penta and Ray came in. They should have put them all together and made it a Mexican mafia family, with
It would have been so
Andrade
good.
being the leader of maybe the son of a drug lord or something like that. You know what I mean, there's so many things you could have done with him, and what AEW's doing with him shows that they were watching what WWE was doing, and they have a plan for Andrade back in AEW.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, sidebar about the baddies that were on Andrade's side. I don't know if you guys saw this on social media. I guess one of them was like a hired OF model or whatever, and she put on her story on on her Instagram story. She was like watching some fake shit or something like that, and I was like,
Oh shit.
oh, never invite her back, bro. Like
Yeah.
I don't care that you're a OF model, but you disrespecting the sport, bro.
Well, I
Get out
mean,
of
come
here.
on. She's on a camera diddling herself pretending it's actual sex. So, I mean,
Yeah.
who's pretending?
I ain't gonna say
Who's
what's
pretending?
fake. What's fake? Come on, man. Get out of here. Get out of here. I just saw that and I was just like, all
I
right.
love
Y'all,
it though.
you
I
pissing
love
me
it
off.
because it's in the sewer. It's fun. She's saying some shit. I hope an AEW fan gets over there and is like, shut up.
Somebody's
Who
gonna
cares?
come at her, bro.
You
Somebody
know
is
they
gonna
are.
come at her
It's
for
the
sure.
internet.
Oh, hey, so listen. Speaking of the internet and people coming at other people, we got to have a conversation about Ricochet
Oh, here we go.
because this dude. Listen, man, we got into a whole thing about it before the show. Like we
We
almost
did.
gave away all the content before the show. Like
Yeah.
because this dude is crashing out, and I
Mhm.
just can't seem to understand it. Like I get like we talked about it, and I get some of his stance as far as like he feels like in his mind, and everybody's gonna have an opinion because everybody has one, but in his mind he feels like that his main roster run in the WWE, he feels like that time kind of tarnished his legacy.
You
And
were
it's like,
fired.
all right, man, all right, man. So you are in AEW where you said you wanted to be.
Mhm.
You are the national champion. You've got a stable around you. You're doing some of the best character work of your career, work that people said you couldn't do.
Yep.
People said you could do. There was some backstage something or other. They with Unreal and everything. They've been taping everything backstage, but this was years ago. I think it was a Tough Enough thing where he was saying Triple H was saying Ricochet was like terrified to like get on the mic.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yep.
And it was like, okay, so you've stepped your mic game up. You've stepped your. Why are you so pissed, bruh? Why are you still talking WWE? Like, I get it. You might not ever want to go back, but like, this man is not just burning the bridge. He's torching it, pissing on the ashes. Like like you don't. I just don't get why he's doing this. That's where I'm at. Like I don't get why he's doing this. You have everything that you want, bro, but you're keeping your mind on something that's done that can't be changed. The time is cemented. The ink is dried and it happened. Only thing you should be worrying about is what's in front of you and the work that you're doing now. I just can't fathom why this dude is crashing out like this.
Yeah. It's becoming concerning because we had a good stint where he wasn't crashing out. He was
Yeah.
actually focusing on Ricochet and what he was trying to put over into the crowd of AEW, and it worked. I mean, look at the dude. Put him on a mic now. I love Ricochet on a mic now. When he's
Yeah.
on commentary and he's watching a match talking, dude, he's fantastic. I like his gimmick. I love what he's doing. But somebody close to him needs to tell him exactly what Tony said off camera when we were discussing this. I'll let Tony have that thought because Tony, I actually thought that was a great thought that you had
Uh,
about Ricochet and what he could do for the company. So I'll pass the torch over to you, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, if you put as much energy trying to talk about WWE and putting them down, that you would put that in AEW, and they need all the help they can get. And I don't want people to think I'm putting them down that they're not doing well. They're a company that's
Yeah.
been around for 6 years. They got a big TV deal. They're doing great, but they
Mm-hmm.
could be doing better.
Yep.
Think we all agree that they could be doing better. And you always room for growth. No matter even WWE, there's room for growth. I mean, you want to be better. You want to get better. So yeah, I don't understand. And the thing we talked about too that bugged me was that he's wanting to talk for other people in their
Yeah.
situations. I mean, Finn Balor he talked about Finn Balor's legacy being ruined. Finn Balor just signed a new deal a year ago, another 5 year
Yep.
deal. It don't sound like his legacy in his mind is bad because he
Yeah.
signed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he talked about some other people. I mean, if you want to, I can understand when he first got there and he was upset with WWE. I can understand speaking out, but
Yeah.
it's what now? 6, 7, 8 months?
It's way too fast.
Yep.
So, I mean, I don't understand put your focus on yourself and AEW and find a way to make AEW better and yourself better. That's how you're going to help the company. You're not helping the company doing this, and you're not helping yourself.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not helping yourself. So let's let I'm gonna open up that conversation just a little bit more, because I pulled up some of these tweets. I'm not gonna read every single tweet that he because he's really spending a lot of time on Twitter. Like I'm like, bro, I get it. Like everybody goes through something different, but if I lived the life that you live, I would not spend as much time in social media that he's spending on it for sure. But I've got some stuff pulled up here. So one thing that he tweeted from his account on X, King Ricochet, they took my love of pro wrestling away. I'll never forget how I felt walking into work every week. And that platform was only to make others look good at my expense. And I told them I'd rather quit and go back to the indies and make whatever I'd make there, then come back next week. Many discovered me at a time when my talents and legacy were being taken advantage of by a company that didn't really care about me. Oh, man. Went on to say things like, Jesus, man, he feels like that. Once again, like we talked about, he feels like his time was, or his legacy was tarnished by his time there in WWE. And then, like OG Tony said, he went on to say things like, same thing happened to Balor, Shinsuke, Apollo, and many others. WWE kills legacies and love of the sport. It's what they do best. And he said he feels this way, and many others do as well. That company kills the love, and you end up being a shell of who you were and going through the motions. He said he'd argue El Generico has a better legacy than Sami Zayn. So okay, I hear what I hear what this dude's saying here, bro. You can only speak for yourself, man. Like how can he says that this is what they do. WWE kills legacies. They kill love for the sport. That's you, bro. That's how you feel. So stop speaking up for dudes that are with the company like Balor, like Shinsuke, like Apollo, like Sami Zayn. Like somebody needs to check on him
Yeah.
because this is, I'm sorry, like, and this might not ever pass his ears, but I'm gonna say it for what it is. This shit is weird, bro. Like, this is weird to me that you are doing this, that you are saying the things that you're saying. Like, you gotta cope in a different way. Like, I don't know what his coping mechanism is. Maybe this is his coping mechanism, is to run to social media, which that seems to be the trend with the younger crowd or whatever. They tend to use social media as a diary, and that's just problems waiting to happen. But this is what it looks like it is with this cat. Is he's just putting it all out there for the things that he's saying. And like, Ricochet, I appreciate your work, bro. You're an amazing worker, but I don't know if this is a smart business move, because you never know. Here's the thing, bro. You never know when you might want to go back. And you doing this and crashing out, and not just doing it like okay, well, he said this stuff 3 years ago, so it's forgivable. No, he says he'll stop for like a few months, then start again. Then he'll stop for a little bit, then start again. And it's like, bro, you're not letting this breathe at all. It's the same thing with like Vince Russo. You will never ever see Vince Russo working for WWE ever again because he talks shit about Triple H and WWE almost on a daily basis. If you follow his social media the way I do, he never has a nice thing to say about the WWE ever. That man will never work for WWE again. That's what we're looking at with Ricochet. And he's probably like, bro, in his mind, he's probably like, I don't care. I'm never going back. But you don't know that, though. You don't know that to be a certainty. You don't know what's going to hop around the corner. We thought for sure WCW was sticking around, and then it didn't. I'm just saying, bro, like, keep your words soft and sweet because you're experiencing success right now, but you could fall off just like you felt like you fell off on the main roster. And then what are you going to do? You're going to be looking for somewhere to butter your bread. And the place that probably possibly paid you the most overall, as far as like a course of the time that you've been there, which obviously is WWE because he was there for a lot longer than he's been with AEW. That's a place that could butter your bread, but you burnt the toast, brother. You burnt the toast. So I don't know, man. Like I said, I hope everything's well with him, but that dude is just crashing out, and it's just weird to me. I don't know. It's just weird, bro.
Yeah, he's got to figure out a balance. I mean, at the end of the day, I guess if this is the road he wants to fly down, he can fly down it. He's Ricochet.
Yeah,
Someone
he can do what he wants to
he's
do.
still
And he
he's
can't
still
do
a
it.
fan favorite, but like, dude, those fans usually towards the end of your career, they demand you be at WWE and that you finish out there. Because I mean, at the end of the day, they're the Yankees. And at final thing with Ricochet for me, I want to talk about what you're going to do in the ring, matches
Yes.
that are coming up, things like that. This
Yes.
whole thing
Title
like
defenses.
this all it makes me want to do is say,
Now enjoy your pussy drink.
Yeah.
I'm,
Yeah. Because it's like I don't know. It's just it's crazy because I enjoy Ricochet, and it's just a shame that somebody as
big shame.
immensely talented as he is, instead of talking about matches that he's having in the ring, we're having this conversation. OG, any final thoughts on Ricochet before we move on?
Yeah, my thing is where is his accountability? It can't be all WWE's fault. I
That's a
Yeah,
mean,
there
good
you go.
point.
It's a
some of it's
great
got to
point.
come back. Some of it's got to come back on you. I mean, he was given opportunities. I remember seeing him in WWE on the mic, and he did struggle. Whether he
Yeah.
wants to admit to it or not, he did struggle. So some of
Yep.
it's got to go on you. And then the other thing, real quick about Finn Balor, he said all this stuff about Finn. I just seen an interview with Finn and heard it out of his own words that he said that he had all this time in Japan and on the independents and everything, and he was almost playing pro wrestler. He said when he got to NXT, he was taught there how to be a real pro wrestler. And
Yep.
that's where he got his legacy from. He said he learned so much in NXT, and I think that's why he's still there. He's so grateful for what NXT gave him. Now I
Yeah.
know his main roster thing hasn't been fantastic, but I mean everybody can't be champion. And Finn Balor's on TV quite a bit. I
He
Yeah.
mean,
is.
you stop and think about the Judgment Day. They probably had more TV time in the last 2 years than anybody. So
Yep.
I mean, a lot of opportunity there. And again, I think people get so caught up in wins and losses, fans,
Mm-hmm.
and and championships. There's only so many championships,
Yep.
So the main thing is to make the most of like Chelsea Green says. I get 60 seconds. I'm gonna make the most of that 60 seconds. Anytime I get, I'm gonna make the most of it. That's how you make money. She said that's how I got my house built. So
Yep.
This
that's
is
what
the
I look at.
truth. The 5 minutes, you got to take them anytime you can get them.
Absolutely. Voice talks about it all the time on this show. So, okay, we are going to take a break. We're going to pay a few bills. And when we come back, we're going to continue to talk a little bit of Dynamite. We're going to look ahead to a little AEW Grand Slam. And we'll call this a great episode after that. But we'll do all of that once again on the other side of this break.
Hello, everyone. It's the Pope Elijah Burke, founder and president of the Love Alive charity. I wanted to take this brief moment to share with you my charity's continued humanitarian efforts to positively impact the impoverished communities in and around the greater Jacksonville area. This cannot be possible without your support. If you'd be so kind, please take a moment to visit our website, love-alive.org, to learn more about the charity and its mission. Also, feel free to donate to our 501c3 organization that operates off of the donation of the public, which is you. Whether that be by website or via Cash App, $1 help makes a difference in the lives of others as we continue to positively influence many people by being the change that we wish to see in the world.
Welcome to the Brainbuster T-shirt website where your favorite podcast team in your house lives. Look at all these fantastic options you have. If you want that sweet hype, we got it. You wanna be divinely designed at yours. Have you lost your voice? We have all that voice merch for you. Are you just a part of the household? We got that too. Brainbuster Tees is where IYH live. Brainbuster Tees is where IYH live.
In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con, in your house. Hollywood.
Emerge faithful for coming out to Emerge 91 Blood and Bone. Since 2019, I have been the executive producer of the In Your House podcast. Since 2021, I've had the opportunity and the privilege to be a part of Emerge Wrestling in Columbus, Indiana. The honor and the privilege to tell all of you, right here in the middle of this ring, that Emerge Wrestling, in collaboration with the In Your House Network, will be at the Squared Circle Expo this March in Indianapolis. Emerge Wrestling is In Your House. We'll see you in March.
Hey, O'Con, in your house. Hollywood, in your house.
Hey guys, it's the executive producer of the In Your House podcast, Alakon the Con Man House, here to tell you on this commercial break to like and subscribe to In Your House on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook at the In Your House Wrestling Podcast. Subscribe on Twitch at Team IYH. And remember to follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And leave a review and 5-star rating. We thank you for your continued support. It all helps for us to stay charted and continue to give you that work. Hey guys, welcome back to In Your House. It is the AEW Dynamite review show, and I'm hanging out with my guys, The Voice, Josh Joseph, and the OG of professional wrestling, Tony Gonzalez from Gonzo Sports Room and Gonzo Wrestling Room, and we're talking AEW. And man, I've been on the move today, and I'm going to continue to be on the move going into the weekend as I look forward to Emerge Wrestling this Saturday. And I got to tell you, as much as I'm going to be moving, I'm just glad I got goalie nutrition on my side. All right, I'm glad I got goalie gummies, man, because with those apple cider vinegar gummies, I'm able to get the energy I need to keep going. The Matcha Mind gummies, they give me the focus that I need. And then when I'm able to chill out, I need the ashwagandha gummies to be able to restore and relax. And hey, you guys can get your wellness journey going too. All you got to do is go to goalie.com, and anything that you get, put it in the shopping cart there, and then at checkout, you could enter promo code IYH, and you get a 10% discount. Let them know that In Your House sent you. And check out everything we're doing on Facebook Live, on YouTube, on X, on Twitch, and then on demand for the audio version, where a lot of people go and listen. That's Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So now we're jumping right back into AEW. We talked already pretty much about so much things that happened, because it was an episode that was heavy with a lot of storytelling. And I got to tell you, I want to focus in real quick on this thing that Voice was talking about earlier, because he said something about it, but we didn't really talk about it. And that's going back to Timeless Tony Storm and Orange Cassidy, and they had a match against some enhancement talent, Jordan Oasis and Brittany Brooks. I think Brittany Brooks has wrestled around here from time to time, but what they're going to be moving into, this was a decent little mixed tag match, even though you knew who was going to win. But what they're going to be riding into is a mixed tornado tag team match against Wheeler Yuta and Marina Shafir, and the loser of the fall must have their head shaved bald. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I am a fan of a good somebody getting their head shaved match. We don't see them that often. We really don't. And I like it. And listen, I think I feel like I know what's gonna happen here, but I gotta tell you, I love Tony Storm. She really said, I don't know why I made this match. I don't want to be bold. She said I'm gonna look like an angry penis, and she popped me. Now, I'm not always with the Tony Storm like sexual innuendo stuff in her promos, but that popped me. I'm like, all right, Tony, I'll let you have that one. You can have that. But the reason I wanted to bring this up is because it was just a little funny segment, and I liked it because it was like, oh God, Orange Cassidy and Tony, they're having some doubts. They're like, why did we agree to this? And I don't know. It was something that took my eyes off my phone, and I just thought it was funny. It was a good breakup on AEW with a little bit of comedy in there, as opposed to everything so serious surrounding the World Heavyweight Championship, which I like, which I enjoy. Don't get me wrong. The scene with the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, I'm loving it. I'm enjoying so many contenders coming through the woodworks. I've gushed about it on this show for weeks. But, Voice, I want to get some of your thoughts as somebody who advocated for Tony Storm and Orange Cassidy to come back together on TV. What did you think about? I know you said you liked the match. More specifically, what did you think about the promo segment?
I love the promos with these two. I love the way. First off, I love the Orange Cassidy gimmick. I think it's fantastic how they started that match with him barely hitting the other guy. To me, that's funny. That's my type of comedy. And also that joke that Tony said about the angry penis. That is a bridesmaid callback, a joke I believe Maya Rudolph made. She closed her eye and she popped out. She said they look like angry men. And I love when Tony can do that, where she plays in a world that can make everybody laugh. It doesn't make you feel awkward or things like that. It's a funny, quick thing. The fact that also I love the fact that Tony Storm can actually play the idea of a Hollywood actress from back in the timeless era.
Yeah.
How she can play that in today's world. When I fell in love with Tony Storm and what she was doing was when we really started seeing her when she was doing the entrance and made everything look black and white.
Yeah.
Everything looked black and white. It was beautiful. I loved it. I love that type of adding into your character to present it in these spots. And I think where we're at with Tony is it's almost like where else can she go with it? Like she's made this character so believable for people that they literally love this character. And the fact that Orange Cassidy has slowly built a actual fan base doing this gimmick that he's been doing, I love it. I'm wondering who is getting their head shaved.
My honest thought, I think it's going to be Marina Shafir.
See, I was thinking that. I thought they could do something with that, but we've also heard a lot of people, and I think all three of us had said it. Yuta needs something new to him.
He does. He that he does.
And
Willard,
he could,
yeah,
he could play some, like they could do something with, like, I don't know, maybe it brings him something. I don't know. Maybe it changes a new chapter in Yuta. I like Yuta. I think he's fantastic, but he needs something with that character to make it to where Howse stops what he's doing to watch Yuta, because I have never heard him say that with Yuta.
Brother, he does nothing for me.
Yeah.
He does nothing for me. I know that we were talking like a few weeks ago, we were talking Daniel Garcia, and he was a big conversation as far as us and the Dirt Sheet guys. And I love Daniel Garcia. I enjoy what he does. Will or Yuta, the dots are not connecting for me, bro.
And I can understand that. There's something about him that makes me want to watch what he's doing, his matches. And I felt that with
great worker.
Yeah, he's a great worker. I felt that with Dean Malenko back in the day too. Like honestly, if we look back at it, the Man of 1,000 Holds, it's kind of boring. Dean Malenko was a boring guy, but
The Iceman character was very boring, but damn, he could wrestle his ass off.
exactly. And then we slowly started seeing his personality throughout the years and things like that. Maybe Yuta is on that path. I don't know, but there's something about him that makes me want to watch him.
I get you. I want to ask the OG here, Tony. What's your personal feelings on Wheeler Yuta?
I liked him when he was with Bryan Danielson. I liked that combination and what they were doing then. But it's been a while. It's been months, probably over a year since I really cared about him. And I think he's going to be the one that's going to get his head shaved. I think they need.
Okay.
I agree with. I think he's going to need something. Now, knowing Tony Storm, she's crazy. She might be the one to do it
because she could do
crazy as
different
hell.
wigs and shit.
Yeah, she's crazy. So you don't know with her. And
that's where I'm at in this one. What if Orange Cassidy's all about it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
There's intrigue around the match.
Yeah, there is. I think it's a fun match. I think it's a good match to have on that show in Australia, of course.
Yeah.
So I think people will pop for it. So I think it was a good setup for them. I'm curious to where they go after that match. I mean, are they going to keep them two together? Or are they going to?
Yeah.
I kind of don't think they keep them together. I think this is kind of a special thing. I think Tony needs something, another good feud. I tell you who I'd like to see Tony work. Of course, I'm going to forget her name now. She's been gone. Thunder Rosa. I like to see I would like to see a blood feud between them two. Let them go for 6 or 7 months and end up with a great big blood feud match. I think that would be good for her. I think that's something that they need because she's been since she lost the title. I mean, she's not been bad. I'm not putting Tony down at all, but she's been a little step down, just a little bit, and that's going to happen sometimes.
That's going to happen
after the champ. But I'm a huge fan of Tony Storm. I've been a fan since NXT UK. So I mean, I was a big fan of her what she did there, and then she blew me away with this character because so far from what she was in NXT UK. It's so different.
Yeah.
So she's fantastic, and I was one when first seen Orange Cassidy. I'm gonna be honest, guys. When I first seen him, I hated him. I didn't like the gimmick at all. And then after a year later, I said he won me over because he can wrestle.
Yeah. He can go.
See, because I never heard of Orange Cassidy till AEW. Yeah. So when I first seen him, the first time, I'm like, "What is this shit?" I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, what's this horse? What's this horse shit? But 7 months down the road, I said, "This horse shit ain't too bad." So I mean,
Tony, let me ask you real quick. Sorry,
Howse.
Go ahead. With Orange Cassidy though, I hear that with everybody. Have you ever heard him talk about the character though? Like in interviews? So the whole thing is everybody in his class that were trying to get up, they were just doing these amazing moves and everything. And he was talking to some guy at one of the shows, and he's like, well, what if you do the opposite? What if you don't give 110%? Maybe what if you give like 5%? He's like, what's that look like? He's like, I don't know. Put your hands in your pocket, kick them, but don't like kick them hard, just tap them. And so it just progressed from there, and it turned into this lazy Orange County fucking surfer dude. Just I don't give a fuck. And that's what I just loved about it because it was different. It was like when I first seen Raven. I didn't see a grunge group that was in wrestling at that time, but he fit the mold of the timeline of all of that shit. It was just great. It was great.
Yeah. It's the same thing I say about Javon Evans. Javon Evans is a specific taste that's like that maybe the older crowd don't get, but I think some of the older crowd do get it. But he speaks to that generation. He speaks their language. Like I've heard him say in interviews, I'm not confident in promos because I don't talk like everybody else. I talk how I talk. That's what you need. Yeah. That's what we need. Don't talk. Well, I'm going to face Obafemi at the Royal Rumble on January 7th at the Thunderdome, blah, blah, blah. Like that cookie cutter crap. We don't want that. Like, talk like the young OG. Talk like how my son talks to his friends.
Yeah.
That's how Javon Evans talks. He talks how my son talks to his friends.
And that's how he should.
That's how he should.
He should be all about that. Just bring, because what that does is he gives you, he gives OG Tony a bridge to where we can connect with the younger generation and give them the love of wrestling that we love. We can pass it down.
Yep. I love like when you said Raven and how you view it, like with Orange Cassidy, my mind went right to Javon Evans because that kid. There's just certain guys that you're like, hey, he looks cool. Oh, he talks cool. Oh, he comes out to the music that I like to listen to. He dresses how I like to dress. That's what it's about, bro. Like, I know sometimes we forget about it because we're so analytical and get so granular with professional wrestling. But when we go back to the time that we were kids and you came up and somebody like me saw somebody cool like Booker T with the flames on his trunks and it's like, hey, this isn't some dude that's just some thug black guy or something. This dude is fighting his way through the card, trying to be the best of the best and trying to come up and be the champion. You know what I'm saying? Or like when you see Raven, it's like, yeah, he has that despair. He goes through these things and he always comes out and he kicks ass, like, or if you were a Stone Cold Steve Austin fan, oh, the badass redneck dude who's saying screw my boss. Like, everybody could relate to that. Like, how are you relating? How are you relating? And like,
exactly.
that's what it is right there. So I'm glad that topic came up for sure. So, okay. The last thing I want to talk about before we slide out of here and call this a really great episode, I think that this AEW Dynamite, like Voice had said a couple of times, I think it did a really good job of building us towards AEW Grand Slam next week, February 14th in Australia. So the last thing we're going to do on this episode of the AEW Dynamite Review Show, I'm going to read off the card of what we have so far on Grand Slam. I want you guys to give a quick thought on it, but then give me whichever match is really got you like, hey, this is the one I really want to see. If I don't watch anything else on this card, I got to see this one match. And this is what we have so far for AEW Grand Slam. I got it here in front of me. We just talked about it. Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm versus the Death Riders, Willer, Yuta, and Marina Shafir. Mixed Tornado Tag Team match. The loser of the fall must have their head shaved bald. Hangman Adam Page versus Andrade El Idolo with Don Callis. The winner will receive an AEW World Championship match at Revolution. Jon Moxley versus Takeshita, Kaneshiko Takeshita for the AEW Continental Championship. Babes of Wrath, Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale versus Megabad, Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. The AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships on the line. And then MJF versus Brody King singles match for the AEW World Championship. I'm going to get it to OG Tony real quick. Out of those matches I just saw, just do the barrel of a gun here. Which one right now are you most excited about?
Man, it's a really good card. It's a tough pick, but I'm gonna go with Andrade and Hangman.
Okay, I like that one. It was high on my list. It was going to be the one that I was going to pick just because, like, Hangman Adam Page. I've never been the biggest Hangman Adam Page fan, but when he wrestles, he usually puts on great matches, and I want to see how he works with Andrade El Idolo. I really love what Voice was saying about how Andrade forced a different Kenny Omega out of his wrestling match that he did when they wrestled on Dynamite. I want to see what Andrade pulls out of Hangman Adam Page. I'm not going to lie. I love the fact that we're in a stage right now where Andrade gets a chance to be the ring general that we all know that he can be. And when he's in that role, I think he flourishes greatly. So I'm very excited to see what he brings out of Hangman Adam Page. Plus, there's stakes on the line. Whoever wins this match moves on to Revolution in LA in March to face whoever the champion is going to be, either Brody King or MJF. And, like, who knows? Could we see a reality where Andrade makes it happen and we see him on that big stage? I don't know. But, Voice, Which one of those matches has got you most excited that you just have to watch?
I never thought I would ever fucking say this, even back in his Shield days. But I am actually looking forward to this Moxley versus
Ooh,
Takeshita.
yeah.
Because I've
It's surprising to hear.
Yeah, well, trust me, it's surprising to say. But Takeshita has really kind of grabbed my interest. There's something about this dude that when he's in a match, I believe that he's fighting for his life. The way he sells, the way he delivers. I mean, the dude makes me believe. And when you can do that, you take me to a special time in my wrestling love. And I think of guys like Benoit. I think of guys like Guerrero, because I fell in love with their intensity and their desire to win. So that's the match I'm really looking forward to. And honestly, I'm shocked. But I'm real quick. I'm looking at the card. The matches they have all set up so far. I like this card. I love this card.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic card already. So Australia, you're getting a fucking banger of a show on this one.
Oh yeah.
I hope they love it. I hope they love it.
I think they will. Australia is usually a great crowd, and I definitely agree with you. Looking at that card, I was like, oh my gosh! I was like, I didn't know I was gonna ask which match that the fellas here were going to, look most forward to. But then when I looked at the card on my computer here, I was like, let me add that to the show because I'm just curious because there's a lot of great matches in here. I don't think that the MJF versus Brody King match is gonna happen the same way that it happened last night. I don't think that at all. I think they're gonna get a better match, but like lore alone, man, like the lore around that mixed tornado tag team match with the shaved head situation, there's a lot of lore around that. I'm with OG where I'm like, I'm really enjoying this incarnation of Andrade. So like him versus Adam Page, sign me up because I want to see what those two create together in a ring. Moxley, for better for worse, he can put on a great match, and I think it's the exact same thing with Takeshita. And I think he's great, and him having matches against guys like Moxley is great. Remember, Takeshita, he's only 30 years old, man. This is still a young cat, so he could be a possible peeler in the future if they move him in the right direction. Brother, if you put Willow Nightingale on my card anywhere, I'm a happy man.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm more than happy to see her and Harley Cameron have any tag team action and get title defenses and start to stack up those title defenses for sure. So I just think it's going to be a great night. I agree with you that I think this card is awesome. And I think this episode of In Your House was awesome for sure. I got to give it.
Can I ask a
yeah.
question?
Absolutely.
Just real quick.
Absolutely.
Do you think that this is something that I thought about, that they may be, I'm worried about this episode that they're going to have that Saturday because it's going to be on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And it's also a taped episode. So I'm wondering maybe if they shouldn't do something like Saturday night's main event does. Put it only on, don't put it on TNT or TBS. Just put it on HBO Max.
Yeah.
And with no commercials and do that kind of thing.
And stream it live.
I think that would work better for them. I really do.
But
And
you're
I think we'll give them a buzz.
you're assuming AEW fans have girlfriends to take out. That's not a thing.
I guess that's kind of true too. So
I'm a rascal. I love being a rascal.
Too funny, man. Too funny. But seriously, I love the idea of just doing what they do.
That is a great idea.
Like if it was in Australia, what time would it be here?
Ooh, it's at least 8 or 10 hour difference, I think.
So we'd probably get an earlier show. Like the show would be early.
Probably about noon, maybe.
Exactly. So yeah, like for sure. Like WWE does it all the time. They just had the Royal Rumble at 2:00, like 2:00 in the afternoon.
And if you put it on streaming, you can do your commercials like they do for Saturday Night's Main Event. You can do your commercials after each match, so you don't have any interruptions during your match.
Yeah.
Indiana alone is typically 15 to 16 hours behind Eastern
Really?
Australia.
Okay, that's a
Good
big
Lord.
difference. Then.
There's a big,
Yeah,
it's almost
big
a whole
difference. Yeah.
day.
That's a big gap. I didn't realize.
But
Yeah.
they did shows uh, WWE has, and they've put them on in the afternoon.
Yeah, I wonder how they manage that. So I don't know, but I love the idea though. They should definitely like listen. AEW, if you're listening to any of these shows that we're doing, which I know you have in the past, listen to what OG Tony is saying and do that because that's a great idea.
That might have been the one. I think Australia might have been the one when WWE did it. I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, so that may
Yeah.
be true.
I
That
think
Yeah.
that's
so it'd be like
the
five. It'd
five.
be 5 or 6 in the morning. But you
Yeah.
could do it live, and then you could still play it.
You can watch it later. You watch it
Then
later.
you,
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, some of us did that. Some of us didn't really want to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
wrestling.
Hey,
Sure.
my crazy ass does. So
Hey,
I
Tony,
I'm not gonna lie.
you're
Hey.
an OG. That's why you're the
Yep,
OG.
and we love it. We love it, man. We love that. We love how crazy you are about wrestling, man. It just adds to the amazing conversations here. And of course, we got to give you the floor to plug anything that you want to plug. I know you got quite a few shows that you do. Go ahead and let the household know everything you're doing.
Yeah, just a little bit here at 8 p.m. We got Face or Heel Pro Wrestling Talk. We tried a new format last week. Thought it worked pretty well. I don't know if it was because of that or we also added a new host, pro wrestler Justin Grubb, become part of the program, and we doubled our numbers last Thursday. So I was pretty happy about that. And
That's
that's at
awesome.
8.
Hell yeah.
And then tonight also we've got the Thursday night blitz. We'll be talking football, and then the second half of that show is going to be a special NBA show talking about the NBA trades. That's at 10 p.m.
Ooh, that'll be
Eastern
fun.
on our network. So yeah, so still got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, man, you were just out here grinding, man. I respect it and I love it, man. It's great to see you doing all your passions and you're a big sports guy, big wrestling guy, and I love it, man. So we appreciate your presence here in your house to come on every Thursday. Sometimes we'll get you on a Sunday too, so that's great.
Anytime,
But
guys. Anytime.
yeah, we love having you around, man. We love having you around. It is a great time. And listen, voice. You already know it's a great time anytime me and you get together. So go ahead and let them out there in the household. Let them know everything you're doing, bro.
All right. So if you enjoyed this, come back next Thursday where me, OG, Tony, and Howse talk AEW Dynamite. We'll have a lot to talk about because there's going to have a lot to happen. This Collision looks great, so watch that because we might even talk a little Collision. You never know with this show because this show, well, it's newer and we're still experimenting. So join us here typically at 6. Well, you gotta like, subscribe, and you'll know when we go live. Outside of that, fans, if you like to talk Monday Night Raw, I got a good friend of mine named Kevin Calloway. He's my Chaos Goblin. He's your Chaos Goblin. And he talks Monday Night Raw with me. And we recap it. What you watched on Monday, we will hit you up on Tuesday at 6 p.m. where me and Kevin, we break down what we love and what we may not have liked about Monday Night Raw. Also, be on the lookout for Kevin's video drops. He's doing the best of 3. So he's giving you a topic, and then he's going to spill out what he loves, what his top 3 of that topic are. He's had some great ones so far. He's really putting in some good effort with these, and then our team is taking these videos and editing them out and putting them out there. So congratulations to you guys. That's fantastic. Real team effort over here at IYH.
Yes.
But that doesn't stop with just Tuesday House because we got a show that's extreme. We got a show that is Dudleyville. That's where it's located. It's the ECW watch along. That's where me and Howse we watch. Guess what? EC fucking W. If you didn't get it by the first sentence, I don't understand why you don't have it now. But me and Howse, we're there and we love it. And we're going to keep bringing you some of the ECW content that we find to be gems. The next one we have planned, it's a fun little story with Cactus Jack and Mikey Whipwreck. A short little story, but a fun one and a brutal one. So when we go next with that is Wednesday at 6 p.m. Me and Howse will be watching ECW, and it'll be a watch along. We invite you to join us.
Yes, man, most definitely. It's always a great time. Hey, check out my solo shot that I did yesterday, guys, if you get a chance to. 7 years of In Your House as of yesterday. Recorded the first episode on a cheap Rent-A-Center laptop and a Logitech microphone, and everything came from it. And it's been a great ride. If you want to hear me talk about that more in depth, check out the solo shot that I did where I talked about that. I talked about Roman Reigns and CM Punk in the promo that they had on Monday Night Raw. I talked a little bit of WWE 2K26 and that dropping next month. It was a fun little solo episode, and at this point, man, I usually try to avoid the solo episodes, but you know what? When I get a chance to do them, I've taken a different approach on them now, to where I actually appreciate them a lot more, because they keep me sharp, and I always like to stay sharp and continue to do what we do here at In Your House, and that's give you guys the work. And that's HOWSE, and the W stands for work. So, for the OG, Tony Gonzalez from Gonzo Sports Room, Gonzo Wrestling Room, for the voice, Josh Joseph, and the whole team here at In Your House, I'm Alakhan the Con Man House, here to remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. We'll catch you next week on the AEW Dynamite review show. Peace.
Dynamite, 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 dynamite.